Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is Luke Mick here, coming to you with a video that I just really want to make. The month is October, it's spooky season, we're very close to Halloween. Scream Factory had a sale. Amazon and Best Buy have been selling Scream Factory 4Ks and Blu-rays for low prices, so I'm kind of in this crazy Scream Factory mood because a ton of packages have been coming to my house and it's so exciting to open them up and see them. And I've just been purchasing a lot of movies I've seen before and a lot of things that I feel that I actually really love. And I'm excited to just kind of share those recommendations with you and just, just show you how the collection has grown, I guess, over the month of October. I almost said a different word. Over the month of October. So let's just get this started. We're going to get the two sort of big box set items out of the way first. First one here, I put this on my Instagram story. Some of you may have seen it. I don't know how many of you who follow me on Instagram actually subscribe and watch on YouTube. I'm sure most do, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm holding it upside down. The Prince of Darkness, I guess they'd call it the Collector's Edition 4K box set. This comes in this really nice black and silver, sort of like shiny lenticular case. It comes with a 7-inch single, a vinyl record single. So I think the opening song for Prince of Darkness is on there. And of course the 4K disc and Blu-ray and slipcover and case, all that stuff, and a poster. I'm very poorly describing what's in this box set. The poster now is hanging up in my stairwell. I love that poster so much. It doesn't really look like it is a poster for what the film actually is. Like, it kind of is, but it's just, I think it's a perfect poster. It really pulls you in, and it just, it doesn't really look like anything from the film, but it just is so iconic looking. It sticks out. I love the poster. But this was like $30, which is honestly like so cheap, because I think normally this was being sold for $60. I watched this for the first time last year with quite a few friends of mine. My friend Tyler, who has a really nice like state-of-the-art home theater set up, had us over and we watched Prince of Darkness. Like I said, it had been my first time, and I actually really loved the film when I watched it last year. So I watched it again just last week with my girlfriend Nancy, and it still holds up. It's just like a master class in building atmosphere and impending doom, and it is one of the best Carpenter films in my opinion. It's one of my personal favorites, actually. I love it. It's really chaotic and actually pretty terrifying in some sequences. So Prince of Darkness, highly recommended. Very happy to have that version of the film. And the second sort of Carpenter-esque box set that Scream Factory has put out that I decided to buy. This one was their full price of like $60, but I've watched this film the past 3 years now around Halloween time, and it's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. This is the Halloween film that does not have Michael Myers, and I think it might be my actual favorite film in the Halloween series and franchise. It is such an original, interesting, noirish mystery sci-fi horror movie that has like some historical elements too. It's such a crazy movie. And it got, obviously panned and shit on pretty hard back when it came out, I'm sure. And they never really experimented with making a Halloween film like this ever again. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I love the film. I love it more and more every year. And it's just really awesome to have this edition of the film. I just thought to myself, God, I've honestly been loving this film so much the last 3 years that I feel like I need to just invest and get this and get that beautiful poster that is also now in my stairwell. Alright, now we're on to the normal just Blu-rays and 4Ks that have come in from, I think, Amazon, Best Buy, and quite a few from the Shocktober sale. I think, did they call it Shocktober? Whatever the Scream Factory sale was, a lot of that stuff is from here. This one, though, is from Best Buy. The Howling on 4K, Joe Dante. I think I watched this film for the first time last year. Truly wasn't a huge fan of it. I actually prefer Howling 2 with Christopher Lee. I think that film is like just way goofier and way more fun. This just gets kind of boring in the second half. I bought the 4K because, like, I don't know, this was so cheap. It was like $10.69 or something at Best Buy, and I like the film enough. I want to give it another chance. It has a good Dick Miller cameo. Joe Dante as a filmmaker in general, I usually just like the the characters he builds and the worlds he builds, and I just decided to grab the 4K because it's one I definitely need to rewatch. I like werewolf movies a lot, actually. I kind of had that realization this week. My girlfriend and I watched Ginger Snaps. I hadn't watched it for years, and I just said, you know what? Werewolves are underrated. I think werewolf movies, like, they don't make many of them, but whenever I watch them, or whenever I watch the ones that are talked about, the like classics in the horror community, I'm always just so impressed. I just have such a great time with them. Except maybe The Howling, honestly. This one was a little bit disappointing. But other than that, Ginger Snaps, An American Werewolf in London, Silver Bullet, all that stuff, I love it. Alligator on 4K. I've really been enjoying the sort of like, and I don't think this takes place in the Amazons, but recently I watched Anaconda, and one of the films Severin has put out. Oh, which one is it? Shit, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. What the fuck? What the fuck? I think it's Crocodile. Is Severin has a film out called Crocodile, right? Fuck, where is that movie? I hope I didn't lose that. Anyway, I can't find the movie that I wanted to reference. I'm pretty sure it's called Crocodile, though. So Anaconda, Crocodile, I've been really liking the sort of like reptilian horror movies lately. Alligator was one that I think was released at the beginning of 2022 by Scream Factory on 4K. This one went down to like, I think 14 something bucks on Best Buy and Amazon, and I thought, this is the time to get it, because I'm interested in seeing this film. It's probably something I would enjoy. I mean, just look at that still of that alligator there. I mean, that looks hilarious and awesome. So, Alligator on 4K. Happy that one went on sale. Ordered from Scream Factory's website during their Halloween sale. I got Halloween 2 on 4K. So, out of the Scream Factory releases of the original Halloween films, I own 2 and I own 3 now. I haven't purchased the original yet because I do have the Lionsgate 4K that came out in like 2018, I think, when the 2018 remake was coming out. But I watched Halloween 2 for the first time, I think 2 Halloweens ago. And I actually liked this sequel. It had some... I loved the setting. It had a great slasher setting. It took place, I think, immediately after the original Halloween. Laurie Strode is in the hospital, and most of the film takes place in a hospital. There are some dumb horror cliches and just, like, moments in the film where characters just act really stupid, for sure. But overall, I think it was just, I don't know, I mean, you can't take the Halloween movies very seriously because they're all so inconsistent and every single one seems to change the formula. But I thought this was sort of like a fun, way to sort of carry on the first film. And the ending with Michael Myers in the fire is some pretty awesome imagery. So I actually like Halloween 2. And I'm happy to have the new 4K from Scream Factory. I grabbed Eli Roth's The Green Inferno. I saw this in theaters when it came out in 2015 or 16, and it was probably the first, like, hardcore cannibal film I had seen. I always knew about films like Cannibal Holocaust and Cannibal Ferox and all that stuff. And The Green Inferno is very much like an homage to those films by Eli Roth. And I was disgusted by this in theaters, and I didn't really feel like I liked it that much. But something, now that I've seen more actual, like, 70s and 80s cannibal films, I'm very excited to go back and revisit this one and just see, how well Eli Roth captures that tone. So yeah, The Green Inferno, and I'm very, very happy that I was able to secure a slipcover for this one. Because this one came out a few years ago now. So John Carpenter's Vampires. I thought that maybe I had purchased the Indicator release for this during one of the last Indicator sales this summer. When I got my package, I realized that I hadn't, and I was a little bit dismayed by that. So when the opportunity came to buy the Scream Factory edition during this Halloween sale, I took that opportunity in full stride because I want to watch this movie. It looks really... It's 90s John Carpenter, which I haven't seen much of, and people usually say is not very good. But James Woods plays this sort of like desperado vampire hunter type person, maybe in Texas. I think it's kind of like a Western-influenced film. From what I've heard, it sounds really fun. I'm excited to watch Vampires. I think that HBO Max had... a Spanish-speaking remake of Vampires, which I didn't know about, or maybe it's a sequel. There is a sort of sequel of this film, I think, that's not directed by John, but directed by an affiliate. I think, I don't know, I was really having a difficult time understanding what I was looking at on HBO Max's homepage. So Cherry Falls. This is a 2000s, or maybe late 90s. It came out in the year 2000. I think it's a slasher, a little mystery movie. Looks like it's set in a small town. It stars Brittany Murphy and Michael Biehn, or Bain, actually, the guy from Terminator and Aliens. You know, he's a pretty, you know, iconic actor of the 80s blockbusters who really didn't seem to do much in the mainstream after that time period. I didn't realize he was in this. That's great. That makes me even more excited for this. I'm assuming it's a slasher movie. Maybe it's disguised as a werewolf movie, or maybe it's a vampire movie. I actually don't know. I've always had my eyes on this one for a while, though, and I like the sort of 2000s post-Scream era slashers. I think that's an era where I was like 3 to 4 years old in that time period, so I wasn't obviously actively seeking those films out and seeing them in theaters, and it's just kind of like a period that I kind of missed. Like, I knew those movies existed and were coming out, but I never watched them. So I like watching them now at this point in time. Serial Mom, John Waters. My friend Thomas really wants to watch this movie, so I took the opportunity to purchase it during the sale. Came out in 1994, so a mid-90s John Waters film. I don't think I've seen any of his 90s output. Probably a horror comedy hybrid sort of thing. And I'm assuming it's about Kathleen Turner being a mother who kills people. Maybe neighbors, maybe her children's annoying friends. I'm not sure exactly, because I've never seen it, but I'm hoping it'll be a good time. We just have 3 more here. Raw, finally brought to the United States on Blu-ray. I think Scream Factory put this one out maybe last year or beginning of this year. It's a pretty recent release. Saw this in theaters with Nancy. It was one of the first movies I guess we would have seen together in theaters within our first year of dating, for sure. And we just had good memories of watching this. The director's name is Julia, I'm very bad at French, Duconro? There are a lot of different, like, fucking letters in there that do not work with my tongue. Julia D, director of Raw. Her most recent film was released last year, I believe, Titan, which I also really liked and was just really bizarre, a lot like Raw. So I'm excited for any work that she does in film, because I think she makes really edgy and intoxicating and just strange films that thematically are very heavy. So yeah, great filmmaker, and Raw, a great film that I haven't seen since theaters, but is definitely on my rewatch list. Happy to have a Blu-ray now. I just kind of ordered this one from Amazon. It's one of the Scream Factory double features. It's Love at First Bite and Once Bitten. I like kind of corny vampire shit, and this looks like a perfectly corny 80s vampire double pack. Jim Carrey being in one of them with Laura Hutton, Once Bitten. This is actually kind of like, if you listen closely, something's broken in there. So I'm having Amazon send me a new one, and I'm going to return this one. It's not coming until like late November, though. I think they ran out of supply. So it's going to be a while, unfortunately, before I can tear into this and open it and watch any of them. But yeah, just a little vampire double pack from Scream Factory. And the last one here is a new 4K from Scream Factory, Tobe Hooper's The Funhouse. I love watching Tobe Hooper films. I think the most recent one I've watched that I had not seen previously was Eaten Alive. Arrow Video has that one out, and that was a lot of fun. He's very good at making, like, campy, trashy. I think he must have lived somewhere in the southern part of the United States. I think that a lot of times his stuff takes place in, like, Florida or just really swampy parts of the United States, and I think that atmosphere is just really fun in the films that I've seen from him, other than, of course, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Love the cover. It's actually a pretty creepy looking clown. I'm not usually, like, frightened by clowns, but this guy looks pretty dangerous and menacing. I don't have anything else to say about The Funhouse because I haven't seen it, but that's it. That's everything that has come from Scream Factory in the beautiful month of October, my favorite time of year. And that's it. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and got some insights into films you might want to watch if you're horror buffs like myself, or if you have any recommendations for things that you think I might like, let me know down below. And with that, again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all again soon, and I will talk to you later.